Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Coogan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.
This is Joe Pugh for IFL TV. We are here on a London street. It's Wednesday afternoon, pre-Anthony Joshua versus Robert Helenius press conference. Gareth, how are you?
I'm good. I'm here with you on a London street. I mean, what is this? What is this? Mission Impossible? It may be Mission Impossible for Robert Helenius. We're just round the corner from Liverpool Street. Is that okay to say or not? We're here on a London street, Pug.
I was trying to be a bit kind of like...
Shady.
Yeah, a bit shady. It's not released to the public where this press conference is, so you never know, you might get some hooligans turning up.
There's plenty of hooligans here already. Listen, we're all bad guys trying to be good anyway. We're all hooligans in this sport.
Are you the number one hooligan, Gareth?
No, I am not the number one hooligan. I'm joking.
Well, last time you were speaking to Umar over Zoom. We didn't know even if Anthony Joshua was going to have a replacement opponent. It's now Robert Helenius. What do you make of that opponent?
I think it's a good choice. Obviously, he's been around the block. He's 39, 36 fights. He's fought 3 former world champions. He's lost, 4 times. He's lost to Dillian White. He beat Derek Chisora, although I didn't have him winning that fight at the time. That's about a decade ago, isn't it? And those world champions are a decade ago. He's had a long and decorated career. Was knocked out last October by Deontay Wilder in a round. Joshua's got to do the same on Saturday night. Take it to him, not let Helenius get a foothold in the fight. I mean, Helenius will be pushing, we're not at the press conference yet, but Helenius, I'm sure, will be pushing that theme of, late replacement, PTSD, Andy Ruiz. He's a different, you're the size of Andy Ruiz. Helenius is 6'9". Andy Ruiz looks in great shape, mate. He looks in fantastic shape. What I mean is he's not much bigger than you. He's not a particularly tall man, and he's fast hands, fast feet. Helenius likes to be aggressive. He may give Joshua the yips and stand back in this fight. You don't know. But I think it's a good opponent. Flip Hrgovic was too late notice. Andy Ruiz too late notice. 5 days notice for the fight. So I'm glad the event's on. Joshua was desperate to fight. Let's see what the fans make of it. I haven't heard too much moaning about Helenius. But Joshua's still got to do a number on this guy.
Yesterday, Eddie Hearn come out and said that there was 3 names in the hat: Gerald Washington, Egypt Kabayel and Robert Helenius. Do you think Robert is the best of the 3 names that were presented?
Yeah, I mean, Agit Kabayel would have been a great opponent. He's knocking around. He's been talked about for a while. We haven't really seen him fight in this country. But I understand that he priced himself out. That's what Eddie told me yesterday. I spoke to Eddie on the phone in the afternoon. Best of the 3. Well, I thought it was going to be Gerald Washington. I knew he was in the frame. I was hedging on him. But there was even talk about Derek Chisora, but I didn't really see that, given how close they are, and he's been a friend and mentor to Joshua for many years. Kind of looking forward to the knockabout between the veterans, Washington and Chisora, picking Chisora in that one for a late stoppage. I think it's a good opponent. But Joshua mustn't let him get a foothold in the fight. I think he's got to make a statement. The problem is for Joshua, it's always a no-win situation, isn't it? If he dominates him over 12 rounds and doesn't stop him, he'll get criticised. If he knocks him out really early, should have done it anyway. If he goes halfway through the fight and gets caught a few times, he's lost it. So, look, I applaud him for taking this fight. The 14 other fighters get on the card and get paid. It's a big card. It's always a big event. Massive media turnout here for the event. Really looking forward to it.
Do you read much into the fact that Robert Helenius only fought this weekend in some kind of 15th century castle? It looked like you'd like to be there. I think that's very fitting of the Gareth A. Davies look, that castle.
Oh, thank you very much. I think it's it just adds to the story that he fought in a castle 6 days ago, isn't it? Or 5 days ago. Yeah, exactly.
Not at all. Chic, I'd call it.
I'm not a vampire. Memes to follow, probably. But I think, I think Helenius is very tall. I think Dempsey McKean would have been an interesting opponent as well, but obviously he's a southpaw, very tall. The thing is, for Joshua, I'm just fascinated to see how they alter their plans over the next 5-6 days for a different opponent. What do you do at this stage? The game plan for Dillian White is out the window. They will always have a game plan, A, B, C. Derek James is a formidable trainer. So it'll be interesting to see how Joshua does this. I think he'll let his hands go. I think he'll do the rangefinders with his jab, and I think he'll let his hands go. I think he needs to make a statement in this fight. We always say that about him. Like I say, I have a lot of respect for Anthony Joshua, A, fighting Dillian White to begin with, and B, the fact he's taken this fight and he wants to fight. He's rescued a big event for everybody. The industry carries on, and you have to applaud that.
Do you think it was the right decision for Dazn to take it off the pay-per-view platform and just make it the regular paying customer for Dazn?
That's a very good point. Yes, they've done the right thing as well. They've eased off, not made it a pay-per-view. It's a regular event. So I think we felt that since they have done that in the announcement yesterday, that the noise around the event isn't a cavalcade, an avalanche of complaints. So yeah, I think they did the right thing. Good stuff. Well done, Dazn.
Do you think Dazn would be disappointed in the fact that they haven't managed to pull off that big pay-per-view fight as of yet? It was meant to be this one this weekend. Last year it was meant to be Ben Eubank Jr. Eddie Hearn said yesterday to Coogan that they still think there could be a potential pay-per-view in December, but surely they'll be hoping to get one over the line at some point.
Yeah, I think, my understanding is that Joshua took a massive cut in pay to take this fight as well. You have to applaud him for that as well, because he wanted to fight. There is jeopardy with Robert Helenius. You think about all that business they were doing, scrambling since Saturday lunchtime till, when was it, Tuesday 10:30 to make the announcement. You have to, I fully applaud everyone involved in the process to keep this event on. It's a unique situation in boxing. It doesn't happen in other scheduled sports. The fact the event is on, I think everybody is feeling relieved, and I think it's a good thing. I'm repeating myself here, but I'm delighted we're here today, and it's going ahead.
Just a quick couple of things. What did you make of Eddie Hearn versus Simon Jordan, round 2 yesterday on TalkSport?
Well, I thought it was fascinating. It's interesting when the two big egos come together, they always clash, don't they? I thought Simon Jordan could have let Eddie speak a bit more, they go at each other, they goad each other, they both get their backs up, and then it's a breathless verbal onslaught, isn't it? I think those two need to get in the ring and have a misfits or a white collar charity fight. I think it'd melt the internet, wouldn't it? By the way, of course, I hope Simon Jordan recovers fully. I did send him an email wishing him the best. I'm very sorry to hear about that news. But I think Eddie did very well in there yesterday. He held his own, very powerfully, and, went in at the right time just as the fight was being announced as well.
Last thing, Gareth, what did you make of Richard Riakporhe pulling out of the purse bids against Jaya Pattaya for the IBF mandatory situation?
That's complex because you can't work out exactly what's gone on there, but I think it might be a promotional political situation. Is he going to get the Billum Smith fight? Is Akoli going to get the Billum Smith fight, even though he's asked for that rematch? They're all under Boxer, so maybe I think Jaya Pattaya's is he Matchroom?
Yeah, he just recently signed a co-promotional contract with Matchroom.
So maybe it's that similar situation as Fraser Clark and Fabio Wardley, where they're saying, no, we want our cruiserweights here with us. Look, Riakporhe, who is there? Arsene Goulamirian, there's Badu Jack, there's Pattaya, and I'm trying to think of that. And Billum Smith, sorry, yeah. So, look, there's loads of options there, loads of options. So, yeah, it's just interesting, but I think it looks like a political move, promotional political move.
Well, we've seen it with Fraser Clark now, and now Richard Riakporhe. Do you criticise Boxer in the way they're handling this sort of situation? Because it does look like you can draw similarities from the two.
Well, no, they've obviously got a plan for Richard Riakporhe. If he'd wanted that fight, he'd have said, no, I'm taking it. I doubt he hasn't complained about that. He hasn't publicly complained about it. He hasn't said my promoter is dragging me this way or that way, my management team. I think his brother is his manager. I think I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that he's looked after by his own team. They'll have a plan. There's always a plan in the background. But yeah, I mean, Riakporhe, you could say on paper beats any of them. He's got the wherewithal, but we just need to see these. I'll tell you what will happen. It might have gone sideways for now, but we won't wait as long as we are with the heavyweight division to see all those world champions fight each other.
Excellent. Gareth, I know you've got a very busy week. You've got this, TalkSport, you've got your brunch on Saturday with Spencer Oliver, and then on Sunday, IFL Live. Very, very busy, man, so I won't keep you too long. Yeah,
looking forward to that with, obviously, that's the other thing I was saying. It's not necessarily about me, but what the industry stays over the weekend now. Yeah, I'm really looking forward, delighted to be asked to co-host with Coogan at the IFL TV event on Sunday at Indigo. I've done the venue a couple of times before with Tyson Fury. You were there, of course, yeah. You were there backstage in the green room, as you always are. You always get in the green room. In fact, you're everywhere. When I went for the Chinese with John Fisher and those guys, you were there.
Maybe I'm following you, Gareth.
You're always following me. But yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to the Slug and Lettuce on Saturday afternoon with Spencer Oliver and Big John Fisher. We're doing an event there in the afternoon before we go live on TalkSport, and I go write my Telegraph stuff. It's going to be a very, very busy week and weekend. It's been busy since Saturday. It's been manic because weirdly, the waiting game and the speculation takes up a lot of energy, doesn't it? Are you not finding that? Of course. Everyone's talking. It's Chinese whispers, who it's going to be. So it's fascinating stuff.
Gareth, always a pleasure, and speak to you soon, mate.
Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Coogan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.